I'm a hater of bureaucracy. So I'm really a hater. I even had a meeting on Vivatech with Minister Lex
of Economy, yes.
I normally I don't have a business card, but I created a business card was with big letter founder who hate the bureaucracy.
Today, I have the pleasure to welcome in the studio Daniil Kirikov, who is CEO and founding partner at 3F Venture, and also you launched easybiz.lu, who is about to transform the fiduciary world. Welcome.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you for inviting.
I posted a little bit about you before. I'm always amazed to see that we have entrepreneurs like you with a lot of experience in Luxembourg. We talked about publishing, we talked about fiduciary, and I was very impressed by your level of granularity and expertise. So first of all, maybe would you like to tell your story in a few words?
Oh, in a few words, it's interesting. So I think the biggest part that I never worked anywhere outside of my own companies. So I started really early. My first business I created when I was 17 years old was monitoring of commercial transport. At 19, I already sold this company and I started consulting. This consulting I developed for a decade. So I sold the company in 2019, it was already quite big. And after in 2021, I started with my partner, the Venture Studio. And that's here we are.
So Venture Studio is where you are basically identifying opportunities in any market, and then you launch a product there until exit or until scaling.
It actually was different stage how it's involved inside, because the Venture Studio, it's a common term, but everyone mean different things around the Venture Studio. So at the beginning we was fully industry free, so we was trying just to find market opportunity to launch something. I brought some experience to work with a venture of how to kind of structure and solve the most common mistakes in this area. So there is a death valley, and there is 3 most common mistakes happen for all the technical projects. The first one is lack of money, the second one is lack of expertise in the team, and the third one, lack of market fit. And this is exactly what the Venture Studio is doing. We try to solve all of these 3 key questions as fast as possible, as cheap as possible. That's why how we build the process, how we validate the ideas, how we scale them, how we define what to continue to do or what to close, and so on. It's split it on different parts. The first one is where we test the ideas as fast as possible, as cheap as possible, to understand is there any real market opportunity, is there ability to scale this, receive the numbers, and so on. So with this we try to cover the receiving the market fit. And the rest we define which one to scale, and we try to structure it in centralized way. So I'd say that we're a manufacturer of technical companies. In classical market there is a term called vertical integrated company. And it's exactly the same what we are doing. We have a company that creates the assets by itself. We invest over there. Time to time we have a projects who come to us on early stage, and if we see nice opportunity in a partnership with this exact person, then we scale together. Apart from this, we start in company ourselves, and after we find an operational partner there.
So very similar to something like Rocket Internet.
Exactly. Rocket Internet was exactly the same things. They was just trying to copy the American ideas in the European market. And
they started with Amazon and they sold very quickly.
It's one of the most famous example of the Venture Studio. I call us more as a venture builder, so because we measure shareholder in most of the projects. So yeah.
Very, very good. So let's go to EasyBiz. You arrived in Luxembourg. Of course, it's a financial center. How did you come to the idea of EasyBiz, and what is it exactly?
It's interesting because actually it comes from the pain. Most of the idea for the founders, they come from the pain they feel. A first company I was opening in Luxembourg, it took me around 6 months and around 50,000 euros to open a company. It was a say. I was like different to establish their shareholder agreement and so on. It really was long opening the bank accounts. You know how difficult it is. And it was really pain, and I knew that I will develop different business in Luxembourg overall, and I wanted to find a solution. Okay, at the beginning I was trying to find a partner with who, in a classical way, we will solve. It took some time, and after I found the partner with whom I'm right now building the EasyBiz, so we combined the Aurora Calvi. By the way, she's here for 25 years doing the same type of the business, but more in a classical way for how it get used before. And we combine expertise, and right now here we are. The EasyBiz is trying to reshape the whole idea of how accounting work, how compliance for the fiduciaries work, fully legal, but we're trying to simplify for the customer, because we believe that accounting overall is nothing. I mean,
it's just another data processing.
Yes, it's a bridge in between you and the government. And overall, for the business, it brings their value. So we're transparent with this, that accounting itself don't create any value for the company. And our core goal is to simplify the whole processes for the business, so the business can focus on creating the value. Because most of the good stuff in the world was created by the small, medium business. They started as the small, and after they grew. So if they focus on administrative, operational tasks, it means they're lacking focus from the main things. And in Luxembourg, it is pretty complicated, to be true, to sustain the company, to go with all the procedure. That's the core idea behind. And under the roof, there is tons of technology. How we helping the client to manage this, how we making it ourselves on the back office, because the EasyBiz, it's not just the IT platform. It is also, we have in the OIC license, we have full schedule fiduciary that can provide all kind of the services. It just
OIC for Ordre des Experts Comptables.
Yes, exactly. I'm too bad with these terms. That's true. And we have everything inside. So for the client, in most cases, it looks like just connect your bank account, upload the invoices, and that's it. And the rest is miracle on the back. And it's just, you have the tax declaration, the annual account, VAT, right in time, and that's it. And you can have in a single source of truth and channel, just ask any question, you receive fast reply, and that's it also.
Yeah, so you basically went from an agnostic approach. You're not an expert comptable yourself, and you looked at it in a pure technological way. How can I get my bank account on the platform, my invoices I pay, and then it's a data processing
to be true,
that generates.
I'm not just the expert de comptable, but I'm a hater of bureaucracy. So I'm really a hater. I even had a meeting on Vivatech with Minister Lex Delis.
Of economy, yes.
I normally don't have a business card, but I created a business card was with big letter founder who hate the bureaucracy. And I gave him this business card. It was super ugly, but it was just to take the attention, and it's about me. So overall, I have a partner. She knew everything about the.
She's an expert comptable.
Yes, she's one of the best experts I have met in this area. But I'm more technology driven, and I trying to reshape it in the way. If you get used to solve it that way, it doesn't mean that it is the right way. So
yes,
and it doesn't matter what we started from the scratch, rethink, rebuild, and so on.
And we see here two very important things. First, we saw our Minister of Finance, who was complaining at the moment of the lack of impact of iHub. There was a lot of money invested, more than 50 million euro, but the problem was the adoption from legacy banks. That's one side of the issue. And of course, the other side is that we see a lot of concentration happening in the fiduciary world. That could be, as you said, one way to look at things. If I take two fiduciaries, I do one, but they still operate on the same model. You take the other way to say, maybe there's another way to make fiduciary work, much cheaper, much faster, much more data-driven, and this is what makes you unique. Just where do you see EasyBiz in 5 or 10 years? Where did you quantify in terms of turnover? How do you see that? Because I know you were just closing an acquisition this week. You were acquiring today. Thank you for coming. And you just acquired another fiduciary. You're going to do that in parallel. How do you see EasyBiz in 5 or 10 years?
Oh, we actually have a precise plan. We plan to have in the 3 years 50 million in our revenue. So
50
million.
50.
Yes. Right now we're scaling super fast. So we have two separated way to grow. One is operational. So we kind of receiving lots of leads ourselves. It's around 60 leads per week. That's what we are receiving. And in parallel, we have the acquisition process, where we buying the existing accounting and fiduciary firm, because we have also on the back technologies to implement it faster and not to disturb the clients from the process, but make a better service. So that's what we're trying to do overall. And yeah, this year we'll scale fast. I think till end of the year will be some news about this. And also next year we plan to at least triple from the current year result.
And 50 million is to what horizon?
3 years.
In 3 years,
end
50 million.
End of 2028.
So quite exciting growth here. That's what tech enables. Now let's look at the fiduciary world. There are many fiduciaries. I was talking 2 days ago with an accountant who told me how sad it is that they don't do those holdings anymore, and every fiduciary used to make, I don't know, 50, or at least in this case, and it was easy money. It's not very complicated. It's just a process of registering. Where do you see the fiduciary world going in Luxembourg in 5 to 10 years?
It's a bit difficult to define just Luxembourg from the worldwide arena, because it's not the only environment. It's not that close, because the customer, they have ability to choose in between. Luxembourg is a small country. There is some benefit for the Luxembourg, but it's definitely not the administration procedure, and especially on the service side. And I think the whole market will be reshaped within the 3-5 years for the fiduciary all across the Europe, because the Europe is one of the most regulated right now, and we can see already the northern part of the Europe, how it's changing. We can see how it's changing in USA, in Singapore, and so on. It's just the trend coming a bit later here. So there will be old school player. By old school, I mean Big Four. These guys is unkillable, and I think that they will stay for decades.
They get
and
25% of the market,
of
the big market, listed market.
I think the biggest advantage is that they across different countries, and they can build bridge in between the countries. That's the core point for them. There is middle market, and the middle market, it is like we are the easy beast. So it's a software solution plus the man in the loop, where you can solve not just the most common question, but all the questions, and there will be a self-service product. Wow. So it's a product where there will be no account over the back. It's just automatically generated and so on. There is already several
for an independent guy,
like
turnover 10,000 euro per year.
Yeah, exactly. But this solution is limited in terms of you cannot build a solution to cover all the cases. It's impossible. And here it goes. That definitely will be a solution like Odoo, like Zoho Invoice, or something else that will cover neither specific part or the core accounting solution. But there is some limitations for this market. I don't think that it will be developed within the years if they will not change the strategy, because also it's not possible to make constructor that will cover everything.
Of course. You
need to implement, and the level of the implementation and start to be more and more difficult and more expensive. And normally fiduciaries by themselves, they don't have internally the R&D department responsible to develop something, and that means that for them any change will cost X10 for whatever they want to do.
We really see, as you say, this polarization between the big, who get bigger, and they got all the compliance officers and the risk managers, and then the small one who struggle just to remain compliant. So
exactly.
The good news for you is you're one of the rare companies who I'm sure will get offers to be acquired by private equity or even big fiduciaries, I think, from now on.
I will already have. So this year we have 6.
I'm not surprised at all. It's a very vibrant ecosystem. I have people coming to me all the time asking if there are any fiduciary to acquire. So you surely found a segment where technology can make a difference. We talked many times before. I know you're the competent guy who can make it happen. I'll be looking at it. I encourage everybody to look at how technology can transform the fiduciary world. Good luck with the next month and years.
Thank you very much and for inviting.
It's a pleasure.